MAGA gear is having a moment. Texas Tech's kicker showed support for Trump, rocking the Trump 24 MAGA shirt proudly. And it's clear that openly conservative fashion is in style again. So what's behind this trend? Here to break it down for us is Jason Whitlock. He's the host of BlazeTV's Fearless. So Jason, I want to ask you, is this more of a bold move or is this absolutely a sign of shifting attitudes?
It's a sign of a cultural shift. Men are moving beyond their irrational fear of woke culture and being canceled and are starting to be real comfortable expressing their opinions and dealing with whatever blowback there is. And there's a lot less of it, to be quite honest with you. Ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter and turned it into X, the athletes just aren't nearly as afraid of Twitter backlash and social media backlash as they used to be because there's just not as much of it. And you can now be an out of the closet Trump supporter without risking your job.
Jason, as you know, we also have Nick Bosa getting in trouble apparently he's going to face retaliatory action for wearing a MAGA hat in a post-game interview. And we wonder, would that happen if he's wearing a Kamala Harris hat? I personally don't think so. But it leads to this larger question, and I've seen people out there saying, look, you guys you're fine with this. This is a double standard because you all were very upset with athletes talking about politics when they came out for the left, mentioning Colin Kaepernick and others. What are your thoughts about that?
These guys all have degrees in false equivalency. It's like that's all colleges and universities must be handing out is false equivalency degrees because Colin Kaepernick took a knee during the national anthem and basically stated and inferred that America is inherently racist and it's no different in America today than it was in 1850. And he's basically sending that signal during the national anthem. LeBron James has made comments over social media that like black men can't go out on the streets, they'll get killed by police. That's completely different than someone saying, hey, I'm supporting Donald Trump. What Nick Bosa did isn't controversial, and you're 1,000% right. If he had come out and said, hey, I'm voting for Kamala Harris, all the people whining and crying would be celebrating him and saying, oh, look at how courageous he is, and blah, blah, blah. There's no equality here in what Bosa did as opposed to what Colin Kaepernick did when he was a 49ers quarterback. Kaepernick's deal brought the national into it, was intentionally divisive. I don't think Nick Bosa is trying to be divisive. I think he's trying to say, hey, I'm a Trump supporter and I'm enthusiastic about it and I'm not ashamed of it. Acknowledging I'm not ashamed of my beliefs isn't the same as, hey, I'm taking a knee because America is inherently racist, and I want to make this point during the national anthem during a traditional time when we're all coming together to celebrate the country. Colin Kaepernick saying, nope, let's throw a pity party and whine and cry about a resisting felon who lost his life while resisting arrest.
Well, Jason, the outrage of the day is the Puerto Rican joke by Tony Hinchcliffe. And if we stick with the 49ers, we have the offensive lineman, Jon Feliciano, who came out. He's Puerto Rican himself and said, you know what? This joke is politically motivated, right? We all saw it there at Madison Square Garden. We all know that it was a joke. So are we finally seeing athletes weighing in on controversies from the right, right? We've already seen it with Colin Kaepernick and everybody on the left, but now is it happening on the right?
Look, it's just these guys are being authentic. This guy's in an NFL locker room. Can you imagine? I can, because I used to frequent locker rooms throughout all of my childhood years, all the way through college, and then as a journalist for 25, 30 years. The jokes that get cracked in a locker room and saying Puerto Rico, which has a garbage problem that has been reported by the media, and a guy cracking a joke that Puerto Rico is a garbage island. Anybody with a brain knows, like, this isn't remotely offensive. This is comedy from a comedian. We all go to comedy clubs to laugh at inappropriate jokes and things that would be offensive said other places. It's just people are moving into reality. I want to connect it to something much larger. Jeff Bezos. This is why, Jill and Matt, I'm so optimistic about what's going to happen on Tuesday. When you see someone like Jeff Bezos, who obviously founded Amazon, owns the Washington Post, and now is trying to push the Washington Post towards the center, or at least in a direction towards the right. And he puts out a statement that says, look, man, reality is undefeated. He's basically saying, like, hey, this fake world that the Matrix was supposed to have, that everybody was supposed to abide by the rules in this fake world, Jeff Bezos is saying, hey, it's not going to work, guys. Reality is undefeated. America's not going for it. Half the public has no trust in us, and the other half knows we're BSing them. This is very significant. When you see Jeff Bezos, when you see Elon Musk, when you see Mark Zuckerberg get out of the content business, apologize for his role in the 2020 election, what you're looking at is three of the most wealthy men in America all start moving towards the center and towards conservative, because not Elon Musk, but certainly Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, they know, like, the American public hasn't gone for their BS, and on Tuesday, there's going to be a reckoning, and they want to be on the right side and say, you know, we jumped ship on the fantasy world the left created before everyone else. You know, I'm not overconfident, but I'm very confident about Tuesday. I'm very confident about which direction the culture is going. The people with money are moving our direction. The athletes are starting to move our direction. What a time to be alive.
It is. I mean, it is amazing. And I appreciate what you're saying, because you voted for the first time, right? Already. You've already voted. And now you're sitting back and watching this unfold. And from that perspective, what you're saying is you see this surge. You see a cultural surge, right? That's what I'm picking up. What do you think?
I've wet my finger, and the wind is blowing our direction, Matt. We're all going to be billionaires come Wednesday, Matt.
I'm ready, willing, and I'll get tanned and rested if I have to. But so, what are the obstacles that you think? Like, what are the things you think? Like, well, you know, what's in the way come Tuesday?
Well, we can't get complacent and overconfident. But also we can't see Tuesday as a finish line. Tuesday is just like, hey, we've taken the lead. Now let's extend that lead. Let's make sure we're doing the work in support and all because, man, there's a lot of institutions that need to be rebuilt. There's a lot of leadership that needs to be eradicated and erased and replaced with real leadership. There's a lot of work to do come Wednesday. Come Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's not just this one day of voting, which is obviously critical, but we're going to have to stay engaged. And I'm talking about myself here because, again, I haven't been engaged in politics the way that perhaps I should have been. But we're going to have to get engaged and get involved and make sure that we take advantage of the opportunity we have in this moment. And continue to put pressure and continue to stand tall and commit to never being silenced again, never being controlled by fear of, oh, they'll call me racist. Oh, they'll call me an Uncle Tom. Let them call us names. Those are all compliments in my book. We're the actual real rebels. We're on the side of truth, and we need to stand firm and confident in that and boldly. I hope everybody come Wednesday is wearing some sort of red MAGA hat or some sort of Trump. Tuesday night and Wednesday morning should be the biggest party and celebration maybe since 1776. Or what day did we declare victory in the July the 4th?
There you go. It is going to be a big day, hopefully, here for everybody in this audience, at least. So, you know what? The tide is shifting. Jason Whitlock was out there voting for the first time, and we really appreciate you coming and breaking it all down for us here today.
Thank you, guys.